coming back to the objectives, I think it's important to understand. We didn't listen to what Vladimir Putin said at the very beginning of the special operation, because it's always the same thing. What Putin says is just propaganda, so we don't listen, which is stupid. But Putin he stated two fundamental objectives on the 24th February 2022. Namely, that was denazification of the threat against the population of Donbass and the demilitarization of the threat against the population of Donbass. Period. These were the two objectives. And that's what the Russians do very consistently. That's what they do. We decided that they were trying to gain territories, that they were trying to occupy Ukraine, that they were trying to go to Kiev and all that. That was not the idea. Basically, what Putin said, he wanted to destroy capabilities, not take territory. By the way, in March 2022, Zelensky made his proposal to the Russians in the Istanbul process. It was this idea of having all the Russian troops withdrawing from Ukraine, and Russia was apparently ready to go into that. So the territory is not an issue for the Russians, but they think in a Clausewitzian system. That means that you use tactical objectives to achieve operational goals. You achieve operational objectives to achieve strategic goals. So it's everything you do at a level should be useful at the upper level. And that's why demilitarizing Ukraine had probably in the mind of Putin the aim of achieving the demilitarization or neutralization, let's say, of Ukraine. And in fact, that's exactly what Zelensky understood, because again, in March 2022, in his proposal to Russia, it was not the withdrawal of all troops from Ukraine, but in exchange of that, it was the neutralization of Ukraine. Meaning that Zelensky has probably intuitively understood the way the Russians think. The problem is that we tend to ignore that, and we make as if Russia was just interested in expanding its territory or remaking the Soviet Union or the Tsarist empire and all that. You know, it's easy to say that the enemy has not achieved the objective when you define the objectives. So that's exactly what the West has done. So we have to listen to the enemy, and that's part exactly. This is basically an application of Sun Tzu, by the way. Just listen, understand what the enemy wants, and then you fight consequently. And that's explained exactly why the Russians, since they want to destroy an enemy, they don't care about withdrawing troops. For instance, in Kharkov or in Kherson, in September and October 2022, they withdrew their troops because they saw there was no point fighting at this point. So it's better to withdraw behind a safe line and to counterattack when necessary.